Me showing you a million things that I can do with something, that's ego, and I don't like that. I'm Alex Davies, and we're in Gatherings Restaurant on the fringe of central Christchurch, next to a busy intersection. I'll put this one away. I'll leave this one out. I don't know, I've always had it in me to kind of want to kind of fight back a little bit, and kind of try new things and try new ideas and not be defined by rules. So I've always kind of had that thought process. Didn't serve me that well in school, but in my later, as of getting older, it's kind of is serving me well. Oh, the raw kahawa, I think that's cool. I think that's a nice dish. It's a fish that's very, I think, misunderstood or underappreciated. Traditionally people smoke it, applying rich, heavy flavors, but you can serve it raw and it's delicious. You get good quality fish that's been treated well. I think it's incredible raw. So we do that to kind of, hopefully show people how good it can be if it's treated properly. Yeah, it's cutting the big chunk of the bloodline out, but also those bones that sit kind of central down the middle. We had a Korean chef working in here, and he kind of, while traditionally in European kitchens they will cut them out, the bloodline out, he kind of taught us about appreciating the flavour, and it's just another part of the spectrum of the flavour of the fish. So we leave it on now. Yes, you got kind of rich, kind of nutty, milk solids in a fatty sauce to kind of bring that kind of fatty kind of mouthfeel. Raw fish, just clean. A little bit of iron in there, because we leave a bit of bloodline in there, just to bring a bit more fullness. A little bit of mustard seed oil, which brings in that kind of wasabi kind of quality that helps kind of cut through that. And then we offset that fat and that richness with the Granny Smith apples that's got a little bit of acidity. And then to finish, you got this toasty burnt onion, furikake kind of inspired kind of seasoning over the top. That again just kind of brings that kind of toasty kind of rich kind of aspects. So it's trying to hit all the kind of notes on the palate and just trying to kind of bring everything together to create something that sits there. And at face value, it's very simple, but it's hitting everything and giving you pleasure and happiness. Initially, I didn't have any pressure on me because I set up a restaurant space in the middle of a rubble car park with a wood-fired oven that some students had built in the middle of central Christchurch just after the earthquakes. There was no investments, there was no fear financially, but there was also just a desire to want to do it. This is blue gum. It just burns incredibly hot. Oh, it's essential, isn't it? Without the fire, we can't cook. As you spend more time in the kitchen, you become less fearful of it, and you become calm around it and comfortable with it. You're just dancing with it. It's great. It smells great as well, doesn't it? So yeah, one of the dishes we've prepared, I guess, is the wood-fired artichokes. I love them. I love the kind of the theatre of eating them. This big kind of bulbous kind of flower bud, which is what it is. Oh yeah, so yeah, young garlic. Using that, confing that to make a kind of really rich kind of sauce, and then finishing it with an oil made from onion weed, which is a plant that's everywhere. It's considered maybe a little bit of a pest, but it's delicious. It's got lots of flavour. Kind of tastes like a cross between onion and garlic. Bright green shoots with little white flowers on the end. So it's just kind of nice kind of expression of springtime. So it's really kind of symbolic of spring. you're eating the big bud of a plant that's going to flower. So, you know, to eat that and take the time to peel each petal, dip it into the sauce and eat it, I think that's a really nice kind of experience. It forces people to kind of, you can't just eat that quickly, so I think that's quite nice. And it's very, very reflective of spring, of kind of new life, of new beginnings. I needed a little bit of time away from the kitchen, so I went and got in touch with a friend who was a grower, and I went and worked on his farm, organic vegetable farming, for a year, just kind of on and off. We started this yesterday, this dish, and I wasn't happy with how it was looking, so we've changed it, so this is me making it up on the spot. So the young beets, they're beautifully tender and, you know, very young, very early in the season at the moment. So just poaching them to make them a really nice kind of texture, and then tossing them through a molasses or a kind of like a glaze made from the juice of the roasted beets, and then finish it with a beautiful stracciatella made from buffalo milk in Canterbury. That's super kind of clean, pure, so that kind of lovely kind of sweet earthy beet against that kind of clean flavour. We hit it with some olive oil from Macarara as well, which is slightly peppery, and that kind of again just kind of creates that harmony, and that's a dish that I think's great because there's a lot going on, but at face value it's two or three things, you know, and I like that about that dish. And it taught me heaps. It really inspired where gatherings went to. I wanted to showcase the work that they did. I wanted to showcase that the effort that they put in, and as opposed to making it about me and my technique, I wanted to make it more about the product, the vegetable, and really celebrate that and show that in the best possible light, and show that if something's grown well and grown properly and grown with integrity, you can express that and you can show that, and that should be celebrated. I'll season the pan, get the fish in, a bit more oil over the top, a bit more salt, then we'll get that in the oven. And you know, it is such simple cookery, but you have to be meticulous and observe and watch and understand everything that's going on. Yeah, so the whole fish became pretty synonymous with the restaurant after the lockdown in 2020. So beautifully simple, and like I said, there's something very kind of almost primal about it. Whole fish cooked in fire. That's something that human civilization has been doing forever. And then we serve that with a sauce that's kind of roasted chili paste that we made, emulsifying that through a bit of cider, through some butter, just to kind of create a nice kind of punchy, slightly acidic sauce to kind of bring a bit of balance to everything. And then, you know, classic wedge of lemon on the side, because cultural expectations, I guess. And, you know, lemon's awesome.
If you tried it and you hadn't like left the dough to ferment for 2 days, and you just use your hands, it just like you stretch it out.
Currently working here is we've got Finbar, who's a chef. He's a friend as well. We've always wanted to work together, so the fact that he's been able to come in and we're doing this is really cool. It's a really good time. We're really enjoying that collaborative work, because I really love his food. He's always loved my food, so to work together is awesome. And I'm really happy with where we're at with that.
I'm not your impression of a city you wish you loved more than everything you gave for it. Him is a friend, your friend till the end.
pioneer car park was a little bit like this car park, right? You'd go out back and there was like this chair by the stream and the babbling brook, and you could have your break there. It was kind of nice. It was like the preamble to Riccarton Bush, and it was nice. But we had lots of staff chill time before we opened at 5 or something. So there'll be lots of that.
Staff chill time.
I was saying,
Staff chill time.
documentary made like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night of chefs sitting in that shitty alleyway around the back, because that's where like everyone's minds are really active. That's where like weird shit happens, but also interesting conversations.
Woo!
Yeah, got it. That was perfect. That was great.
The culture of gatherings is everyone bringing themselves to the space, not defining how people should behave or not defining a set way of doing things. It's just letting people be here, be a part of it, be involved. We don't know where we're going to be, and so it's just embracing it, being there with it. So you just work with what's there and you celebrate that, and you treat that as a celebration, because you don't know where you're going to be or what's going to happen.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I am not a raincoat here to keep you warm. And come is a friend, your friend.